Yo, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Yo, what's going on, guys? How are we doing tonight? How are we doing, Mr. Simon, Stephen Hall, Edward, God the Heavenly Father, Matthew Hill, Julie? Oh, we're in here, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, futures a little bit clapped again today. Down about 1% on the NASDAQ. Oil up about 2.6%. S&P down about 0.65, and the Dow down about 0.5%. So it's a little bit interesting out there. We do have some interesting updates. I'm not exactly sure, but besides the obvious here, what's causing the futures to drop right now. But what the hell? We gotta look at that. Hold on. These look like flares. Those missiles. Oh man, not good. No, yeah, missiles, huh? It's debris from something that got shot down, not missiles. Yeah, okay. That looks right. I'm like, those don't look like missiles. But yeah, this is probably the obvious reason why the markets are down. But something interesting is going to happen, and I want to give you guys the heads up on that, is we've seen this rally today because that's what typically happens, right? Think about this, and I heard a good analogy today, and so I'm not making this up myself, full transparency. But this is compared to the markets. Like, imagine if you're got into a fight with somebody online, right? And they live down the road from you, come to find out. And then you look them up on Instagram or Facebook, and they're buff, they're 7 foot tall, they're going to whoop your ass, right? You're going to be a little bit nervous heading into that fight. And then you find out, hey, they can't fight. They're slapping. And, you know, after that, you're not worried about it. That's kind of what is going on with the markets today. That's why we've seen that big rally. But what is going to happen is if Russia takes Ukraine, which is probably statistically likely eventually, you're going to see a lot more of that World War III fears thrown around right now. I don't think a lot of that's really priced into the markets as far as right now. And that's going to be a big drag on the markets. So I think that's what's going to happen. You mix it with the Fed, and then you get a little bit of a weird dilemma going on. But oil still going up. We're going to feel it at the pumps because we have to apparently import like 17 million barrels of oil a month from Russia still. That's crazy. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting situation. Nonetheless, I actually expected to see some green futures right now, but and U.S. is the ultimate safe haven for your money during Russia war on Ukraine. That's an interesting take on it, but let's see what Unusual Whales has to say now. How are we doing? You guys make some money? You guys make some money today? I think my portfolio was up like 11%. Crazy. Ukraine government advisor confirms Kyiv is being hit with either cruise or ballistic missiles. Go ahead and retweet that one. Yeah, that just looks like debris, though. Certainly. UN Security Council will vote on a resolution condemning Russia's invasion of Ukraine. One caveat: Russia is president of the UN Security Council. What? That's a little strange. You guys see this too? This was interesting. Well, Taiwan announces sanctions on Russia, but geez, there's a lot. The White House has stated that employees of the Chernobyl nuclear plant are being held as hostages. Wow. Where is it at? The mayor of Kyiv, a former heavyweight boxing champion, says he plans to take up arms to defend the country. Wow. HTC, any thoughts on indices recovering today? You're probably going to see a lot of that back and forth, volatility. Really, there's no other word for it. We could open up really down and then go green like we seen today, or we could open up green and have a terrible day. So that's where it's really hard to trade these scenarios right now, specifically when you have so much going, where the markets, they care about the Fed, they care about this, they care about growth possibly slowing down, but different things take different levels of precedent. 2-3 weeks ago, the markets did not care about this at all. There was virtually no fear priced in because of this. It was all due to the Fed. Now, eventually, you will see the Fed fears come back, but this is definitely dominating for right now. If you get both of that coming at the same time, interesting. This has become my favorite channel. Other YouTuber mods are hall monitors. Yeah, we try to, keep it freedom of speech in here. We're not trying to oppress anyone. And, when chills come in here, I am fully able and willing and love to debate my case. So it's good. It's good. I like doing this. You don't get paid, really, for doing these. Like, you got to like to do it. I just feel like the SPY short squeeze, it did, kind of. There's a lot of puts, obviously, on the market. It's about 80-85% puts compared to calls at 15-20%. So certainly you can see that action. At the same time, it's a lot of trading algorithms. Like, they're so just fraudulent and manipulated. Like, when you're actively trading as well, or just watching the charts, and you're hearing like very bad things be said about, for an example, today when Biden was speaking, the markets started to rally, but as soon as they were rallying, but as soon as he started saying, I forget what it was, the markets that came down, and then as soon as he said that, was asked about the nuclear strike, a possible strike on Kyiv, the market started to rip. I'm like, what? How do you sell off on something else and then rip on the words nuclear strike? Doesn't definitely fraudulent, but 1% up to down in 5 minutes. Did that just happen? I did not see it. I probably got a notification about it. Oh, was that earlier? There's been a lot of shit going on. Yeah, it looks like it's doing good right now, but Biden is a joke. The thing that really makes me worried is like genuinely concerned is the fact that nobody's ready for this. Russia has been preparing for 2 years. They've had troops on Ukraine's border and been building them up for the last 2 years since March of 2020 during the crash of the pandemic. And at the same time, they're unwilling to sanction oil, to put export controls on oil. And that's what's really keeping a lot of the economy alive. When we have full capabilities, we produce more oil than Russia. You wouldn't know about it, right? And we have the chance to produce a lot more, and we just don't do it. And that's helping to fuel them. But at the same time, we're not prepared. Whereas they're probably fully prepared to take Lithuania or whatever it's called, all the Baltic countries right there. So that's not good, but sell the war early, buy the dip later. Yeah, classical. What really sent the markets off was just Biden. We're not doing anything about it. When it comes down to it, we're not doing anything about it. Like, this is nothing new for Russia. This doesn't phase Russia, what we're doing. You got to go over, or go for, I should say, SWIFT and their oil. That's it. That's all that really matters. Question if you got time. If a buy limit triggers and then hits my stop loss, how do I buy back in like a lot, say, without wash sale? I've heard, don't quote me on this, you'll have to look it up yourself too, but I've heard that you can do it on different portfolios, different accounts. Like if if that were to happen to you, you could just buy it on another portfolio and do it like that. But if it's a large amount, then I wouldn't even bother with it, because taxes are kind of like it's not a complete science, right? There's like 4,000 pages in the tax code, so a lot of it is like gray line-ish, and that's how they make it. That's purposely made like that. So one of those things where some people will probably tell you yeah, and some people will tell you no. I like to stay away from that kind of stuff, especially if it's a large amount. I can't rewind this live stream. I don't think I have the what's it called put on. I can start doing it if you guys like to rewind them, but when Biden said about telling gas companies not to raise prices, gas fell hard. Yeah. It's really a joke. I mean, the UK, Boris Johnson, they sounded pissed off. He sounded mad. He sounded like, fuck with us and you're going to find out. That's basically what he was showing and implying to Russia. And we're just, whispering into the mic. And, like, the UK wants to go after SWIFT. They're going to have much more economic consequences than we are. Like, why are they doing all that? And we can't do nothing. Does Moomoo allow after-hours trading? Yes. Yeah, they have a lot of good tools on Moomoo too. I like using them. Yeah, one of the biggest whipsaw days I've seen in a while. Yeah, same here. You really have to go back to a month ago exactly. One day. This day right here. Yeah, January 24th. Look at that candle. Oh my God. 410 all the way back up to 428. $18 move. What the hell? What is going on, White? How are we doing? What is Swift? Sorry, I'm dumb. We talked about it in the video today, but Swift is a vast messaging network used by banks and other financial institutions to quickly, accurately, and securely send and receive information, such as money transfer instructions. More than 11,000 Swift member institutions sent over 35 million transactions per day through the network in 2020. It's like how do I describe it? Like when you do a wire transfer, right? Let's say you try to wire transfer $1 billion, from a Swiss bank account to an American bank account. That's how it's done, is through the Swift platform. And when you cut somebody off, you can't do any of that. Or I'm sure it would make it a lot harder if there is a way to do it besides that. But pretty much all countries use it. And I think the reason why they don't want to do it is because it would hurt everyday citizens more. But that's what you want. You want the citizens to not like Putin for this. The last thing you want is fucking, go back to 1940s and people loved what they were doing in Germany, right? That's the last thing you want. And it doesn't look like they want war. I mean, you guys have seen the protests today, and we're just unwilling to do what needs to be done when it comes down to it. We just won't do what needs to be done. And this is the start of World War III. That's my personal opinion. When I was racing for USA Olympics, team the Russia were poor. They slept in tents in minus 40-degree weather. They got the Olympics and money poured in. If sanctions choke them out, may work. Yeah, sanctions just take a long time. It doesn't happen overnight. And most of Russia's economy, the small economy they have, is oil dependent. Right? I seen something very funny. It was actually hilarious. I laughed so hard. Let me see. Oh, yeah, it's probably a while ago, huh? Yeah. Quote, Russia is incredibly unimportant in the global economy except for oil and gas, said Jason Furman, a Harvard economist who is an advisor to President Barack Obama. It's basically a big gas station. That's funny. Yeah, you guys see this? This is I don't know how to say any of these names. I'm not even going to try. But the head of the Russian tactical unit that surrendered to Ukraine with his men said, "We didn't want to kill anyone." And that's old guy right here. Like they don't want to be in there fighting. But Ukraine is fighting. I want the underdog to win for sure. Yeah, Russian forces have seized Snake Island, a small but strategic island in the Black Sea, and we got news that none of them surrendered. They fought until they all died, every single one of them. Ukraine's interior minister announces 10,000 automatic rifles have been distributed to civilians in Kyiv. And then they had Ukraine had took back the Hostomel airport. Russian airborne force eliminated. Yeah. Zelensky has instituted a national draft. The order also allows vehicles to be requisitioned for military needs. Ukraine's military says it has destroyed 30 tanks, 5 planes, and 6 helicopters belonging to Russia. and they only lost 137 people. In war terms, that's not terrible compared to the 500,000 troops or so they have. Don't smash the like button. Stand on it. Where is Evergreen? Yeah, that's a good question. We'll see him in a second. He's going to say AMC's going to $8. He loves $8 for some reason. That's like his sweet spot. Yeah, and, it's getting a little crazy out here. It makes you very thankful you're not in this situation, but unfortunately, it's coming. Hope not, but it's definitely coming. Why is Bitcoin price so different from Coinbase to Robinhood? Robinhood, brokerages that don't actually have a wallet like Robinhood, they just stake the price. So you're not actually acquiring the coin. You're basically getting it at a price. And there's weird discrepancies. That's how Robinhood makes a lot of money off crypto. Like they can go, trade it at a certain price, update it to be a different price where they just staked you at that certain price. So, you're not actually buying the real coin. AMC to 800. Oh, yeah, there you are. We missed you. I hate wars. They only benefit the elites and politicians. Yeah, me too. Me too. It's needless. Like, you don't see any of these motherfuckers that are declaring war out there actually dying for it. That's the kicker here. Whereas even in Ukraine, I mean, they're gonna fight. The mayor of Kyiv said he's gonna fight. Like if the people declaring war knew they would die if they lost, it's a lot less likely. But I personally think, my personal opinion is, Putin's probably terminally ill. He probably has a couple years to live and just doesn't really care too much. He wants his history books, like you've heard people say, that he just wants them to look good, essentially. I mean, he threatened a nuclear strike, and then, what's his name? Hold on. No. This just came out not too long ago. Yeah, Blinken, the U.S. Secretary of State, has said, quote, all evidence suggests that Russia intends to encircle and threaten Kyiv. And Moscow has developed plans to inflict widespread human rights abuses and potentially worse on the Ukrainian people. And that's why Biden got a lot of questions today. Putin's statements as well as this, it doesn't sound very good. Then what do? Do you circle everybody into Kyiv? Because that's where the real battle will be fought. This other stuff is kind of softening each other up. The real fight happens in Kyiv, and that's not going to be a fast fight. That's going to be a lot of guerrilla warfare. That's going to have the markets going a little crazy for a while, I think. But what's to stop Russia from saying, hey, they got 200,000-300,000 people here defending the city that are gonna die, that aren't leaving? Why don't we just send a nuke in and end it like that? They're Nazis anyways. We're exterminating Nazism. That's what they said. It's like, that's not good at all. This is the picture that we seen earlier too. The red is where Russia has taken. The Ukraine pushed back some of this red right here. I don't know about any of this other stuff, though. But these are all big cities. Kharkiv. Donetsk. I don't know how to say that one. Odessa. Yeah, and that airport they took was like right here next to Kyiv, and then Ukraine took it back. So it's good to see that they're actually fighting. I mean, definitely Definitely a good thing to see. Posted comments on me, Kevin's live streams. Yeah, he was up streaming it. And people are just stupid in there. People were so dumb. So dumb. They're like, United States would lose against Russia. I'm like, how? Like, what are you talking about? Like, no. It's not possible. How's it going? Will AMC squeeze next week? Evergreen said it's squeezing now. Okay. That's okay. That's set in stone. Traders better be flat at the end of the day tomorrow. Don't want to hold any positions going into the weekend. Yeah, that's the problem with the weekends too. It'll be very interesting what happens. And Fridays will be a good thing or a good way to gauge how people are feeling, how fearful they are or whatnot. Because if you see that dump on Friday, that's not good. Do you think this is World War III beginning? Oh, 100%. No, yeah. No other way around it. 100%. For a lot of different reasons, Russia, all they care about is the history book. Making Russia look good, powerful. They've already lost everything. They already have a smaller economy than Brazil. Like one of the news headlines said they're very unimportant to the world economy, but they're a big gas station. Like, that was the best way to that few margin calls would explain the bounce back in the markets. They were pretty oversold anyway, so a brief rally was bound to happen. Yeah, and that's where you're just going to get the extreme volatility. This is not a normal market. This is a lot of up and down. You don't see this. This is historical to be down so much and then recover positive because Biden's being soft on Russia. Okay, that's going to constitute going down from 2% to positive, as well as the initial jobless claims numbers being good. I don't know. It's just people can't make up their minds, really. But yeah, there probably was some margin calls today for sure. Said seriously, it's tomorrow. Well, I got some $19 calls. So if we squeeze tomorrow, I'm gonna bank. Said no, Cody, not worth going to war. No point, no way. That's the problem. Is Russia wants their Baltic states back. They said they want to reunite. The Soviet Union. They want these next. Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. That's what they're gonna take. That's what they're gonna go for next. If they do, I mean, I don't want to be the warmonger here because I hate war, but if you just look at this, it's very easy to see, right? They're all countries a part of NATO too, so that's where you get involved ultimately, or we would get involved. But they want to reunite the Soviet Union. That's it. That's the bottom line to it. They made up bullshit to invade Ukraine. They'll make up bullshit to invade these countries. And then let's see who steps up. Let's see if we all step up. But, I mean, there's no other way, You say World War III calmly. Please tell us what kind of war you see, like how it plays out. If I were to just totally guess, they take Ukraine. They say they don't want to hold it. but they know they're going to hold it. That's one of the countless things they've told us that was not true. Like recording the declaration of declaring war on Ukraine 3 days before they ever declared war. They have this all planned. They have the whole thing planned out already. 100%. Putin does, at least, right? They already knew what time it was. So when they say that, that's just so people don't freak out. Oh, they're going to annex Ukraine. It's like doing something first and then getting in trouble for it is usually a lot better than not being able to do it, right? People watching your every move, you just lie to them. Once it's done, what the hell are you gonna do, right? So that's what they're doing. But as far as how it plays out directly, it's gonna be the same thing that we've seen with Ukraine, saying Ukraine is firing on their people. That's the go-to, because you're not gonna have a camera there every time to see what's going on. You're not gonna put a camera on the whole damn border. So it's really word versus word when it comes down to it. Like Ukraine was never, they did not fire on the separatists. They were told not to, so this hopefully wouldn't happen. So they'll do that with these other 3 countries, and ultimately, go to take them, and then I don't really think nukes would be involved. I hope not. I think depending if they were going to lose, that's probably, if you're terminal, you're Putin, my guess, he's fucking losing his mind. He don't give a shit right now. You already don't have an economy, and you want to kill it even more? You must be fucking terminal. There's something wrong with you. Terminal, something's going on. So from that perspective, why not end the world and go out as a fucking, the guy who ended the world? Who tops that history book? Tell me that. And that's what they've said. They basically said, fuck around and find out. Basically. We will nuke you if you intervene with Ukraine. Basically what they said without saying that. Yeah. So they'll go after that, and then they're NATO. We got to get involved. Beautiful, huh? Beautiful the way it plays out. Sarcastically, of course. Good thing is, it won't be fought on American soil. I guess that's a positive here. We'll all get drafted, which is fun. Look at Square, Jesus Christ. So Evergreens, what's your price target for tomorrow, bro? What is going on, Shane? Didn't we make a BS also? Us? I don't think so. Oh, Shane. Shane in the building. What's going on? Lou says the 3rd, but even with today's SEC documents, there is still no such form or doc to support the 3rd. Yeah, I don't know, I pay attention to news headlines that come out. I haven't heard anything, specifically, but I got $25 long calls, drinks on me. You get a drink, everybody gets a drink. I like that. We'll just buy the bar. Let's just buy the bar. Just buy the restaurant. Buy some theaters or do something. You know what I'm saying? We got to grow that money once we get it. Lou was wrong so many times. He changed his YouTube name and blatantly stated he didn't want to be a part of this shit anymore. I feel him. I don't know where he was coming from that, but there was one time where I wanted to stop making AMC videos because nobody understood, the what was going on, and you can get a lot of hate. You gotta definitely have thick skin to do this, but I feel like Lou gets a lot of love, if anything. Coin 35K, we bought 38. This is fishy as hell. Yeah, that's the spread they're getting. That was like that a couple multiple times on Robinhood. Multiple times. But that is a big difference. US is a big melting pot too, so it's easy to integrate foreign spies anywhere. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So just heavy war. Thank you for the opinion. Yeah, I really don't like to talk about it too much, because just I think it's inevitable, but I don't want to jinx it in a weird way. But it's coming. Wars like that take a while though. So by the time you realize World War III has started, you have already been in it for probably a year, right? If they were to take an action on any of those Baltic states, it would probably be a year or two away. Consider they've probably had 2 or 3 years planning this, and they're probably planned for the worst case scenario. Obviously, Ukraine, tough bastards, right? That they're prepared. They're potentially prepared for that, and then regroup for a couple months and then go at it with somebody else. The problem is that they don't think that we would get into it. They don't directly want a war with us until they're much stronger. Even their industrial capabilities are far less than us. Far less. Their navy is far less. Their air force is far less. Sure, they have tanks, but what's a tank do if you're gonna get hit from 30,000 feet in the air with a fucking missile every time you get one out? It's not gonna work too well. But yeah, that's I think that's kind of far down the road, but they're gonna test us, and it's not gonna be pretty. I hope it don't happen. 50 on that light counter. There we go. $43 at the end. I think you're fucking with me. I think you're fucking with me, Evergreens. We ride into a pit at dawn. Yeah. The land is crazy. Yeah, I bought like 3, 4, 500 shares. I don't remember. Did it do something? Both of you guys started talking about it. Did it move in after hours or something? No, did nothing. It is a wild story, and I did some research on it. 21 million market cap. You got to look at it like a lottery ticket, basically, but they have real products. I was looking through all their stuff. See their Twitter. They don't get a lot of attention. 2,300 followers for an EV company based in South Cali. Not that much attention, but look at the vehicles. I could see that. I could definitely see that. That's a whole vibe. But yeah, it says shareholder update. This was February 17th. Moulin, I always want to say Mulan. Moulin is on track to meet 2022 operational goals and anticipates the delivery of the first EV cargo fleet vehicles in Q2 2022. The company is unaware of any business reason for the current decline of the Moulin stock price. Very interesting and very weird, and that's why I pulled up Moulin Automotive. It's kind of weird if you look up holders of it. For some reason, Fintel didn't have the filing, so I had to come through here. But this company, Esosa Holdings, they're basically the top holder. They own 1.37% of the shares, almost 500,000 shares, and they have a $40 million revolving line of credit to them. So they have a lot of direct ties to the business. So that was very interesting. But look at some familiar names: BlackRock, Vanguard, Sequana International, Wallace, Marshall Wallace LLP, Bank of America Corporation, Asset Management Arm, Alpine Global Management, Virtue Financial, State Street Global Advisors, Citadel Advisors, UBS Asset Management. So the way I look at it is either going to be one of those great trades that you rarely ever get, that is just extremely underappreciated and undervalued, or it's a big ass scam. There's no other two. It's either going to make you a lot or you're going to lose everything. No, there's no in between here. But definitely something going on. Yeah, and shout out to Super Show, because you said something. It sparked my interest. I like the risk to reward profile. It's not too often, if at all, you're going to see a stock that is listed on the main exchanges that's an EV company that is a $21 million market cap. Tell me another EV stock that is about to deliver vehicles that's $21 million market cap. They own their factory outright, and their factory has to be at least 10 to 20 million, at least. So definitely find it quite compelling. And they've been in a lot of good magazines and all of that. There's one that recently just came out. Is it this one? No, there's another one, but is it Carbuzz? I think it was Carbuzz that did a piece on them that said that they're not your rival to Tesla, but they have they were rated by basically car analysts in between a Tesla, the expensive one, the Plaid, in between the Tesla and the Mach-E. So they scored better than the Mach-E, the Mustang, Ford Mach-E Mustang, and not quite as good as the Tesla Plaid. So I'm like, I think that's definitely worth a $21 million market cap. That's a little ridiculous, but you can pre-order too. Website looks sleek. I'm like, you are scamming me, or you sold me, one of the two. Probably both. Yeah, and that's one of those that's like, you put a little bit in at a stupid low valuation, it can make you a lot, or you lose a little bit. Yeah, that's their factory. And I'm like, that looks like it's worth at least 15 to 20 million. And they own it outright. But this is going to be an expensive vehicle. This is like a $250,000 vehicle, but it's like a Lambo, you know. Yeah, worth a gamble. I blow more money doing bullshit. AMC squeezing, man. You better not get me excited. Rubles should be worth nothing soon too. Yeah, it won't. That's gonna keep going down. Wait, is the Russian stock market open right now? No. I don't know about the Russian stock market, but it's not open. 33%. You think we got it bad? Fucking, you think you hate Biden because the stock market's going down because of him? Imagine people in Russia. They really, man. You just lost a third of all your money in one day. In an hour, I believe. Said they closed it last session. Yeah, they had closed it right here, and then they had opened it, but they might have closed it until like further notice. But Sears is 2 cents a share. I don't know. It's got to be like OTC, right? Gotta be. Oh shit. Get out of here. Yeah, it went from 13 cents to 3. Now it's sitting at 6.5. It's up 32% today. Oh my god. That's wild. Is this really? Yeah, it looks like Sears. Thing gets like no volume. Or is this Sears? That can't be Sears. Number 1 zombie stock. Brent oil back above 101. Barrel with crude not far behind. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. It's a falling knife. Best time to start the squeeze is on Friday, in my opinion. Shake a few paper hands off, not wanting to wait through the weekend. Yeah, I feel like Friday makes a lot of sense. That's where you want to really settle things out, too, if you're an institution. And the margin debt had come down almost $100 billion since January, so bullish. It raised gas price 15 cents overnight. Yeah, I heard in Europe they're like 25-30% higher. I'm like, jeez. What's your thoughts on Meta Gold rewards on BSC? It pays it Hewitt. I have no idea. Meta. I assume it's Metaverse, and I mean, I think Metaverse is like Facebook in 2004. You know, it didn't really get big until 08, 09, 2010, 11, 12, you know. So I think people that invest now will probably do well in it, but it's going to be a possibly 5 to 10 years before it's like you're waking up and going to work in your metaverse, you know. I think that's quite a distance away. But have you done AMC Ortex? No, I have not, but we can take a look at it. We were looking at Mullen. The interesting thing on this, though, which also raises a lot of red flags in my mind. Oh, wow, short interest has went up. When I looked at this, the short interest was 2%. That's it, 2%. Now it's 6%, and the utilization is 78%. So that's pretty interesting. That's a pretty big shift from the day that Supa had told me about that. I believe, what was that, 2 nights ago? Yep, so you got the short interest for AMC at 21.06%. Shares that are sold short, 108.08 million. Cost to borrow max of 1.47%. Utilization at 100%. Days to cover at 2.34. So not too much has changed. Short interest staying pretty much the same. A lot of this staying pretty much the same. The cost to borrow is doing some weird things, though. It's going to high 3%, back down to 1.47%. I don't really think these numbers are very accurate, though, so keep that in mind. I'm not a big believer in a lot of these, well, these numbers, even, some of these numbers we get presented, but hold on, let's see. Indo's Ortex data. Indo. I was actually on StockTwits. I used to look at that a lot. And I kept seeing Indo pop up like everywhere. Is it the multi-units? That's not it. Indonesia Energy Corporation. That's it, right? I think. Is it this? Indo Amex? If this is it, it says almost 60% short interest. Cost to borrow max of 651%. That's ridiculous. Hold on, let me see that. That cost to borrow number is crazy. Oh, yeah, it was up 53% today. Wow. Wow. See, why can't Mullen Automotive do this? They should take some lessons from Indo. That would be great. Anyone with 20 G's can pump Sears at this. Yeah, no doubt there. Sanctions on Russia will restrict imports from NATO countries. Yeah. 300 is next squeeze. I don't think anybody would be too unhappy with that as the next leg, because unless you see things really line up, like I'm saying, the market's coming down, a catalyst to force all of the shorts to cover, I think it's going to kind of go in waves. As long as you have that core holding. Yeah, that is nasty. 600, just the cost to borrow number is ridiculous. The cost to borrow max of 651%. You're high to short this. That's crazy. Even anywhere, the cost to borrow minimum is 356%. What? I am not touching that. But could be an interesting trade. I don't know the news on it though. Christina, how are we doing? Have Ukraine's people fleeing to Poland? Yeah, but they are, a lot of them are fighting. A lot of support for Ukraine too. The U.S. said that they that the defense is holding up a lot better than anyone had thought. Waller from the Federal Reserve, it is far too early to judge how the Ukraine conflict will affect world or U.S. economy. Russia could use cryptocurrency to blunt the force of U.S. sanctions as per NYT. Nah, Russia doesn't like crypto. That would be like desperate if they had to do that. The group of Ukrainian border guards stationed on Snake Island in the Black Sea and south of Odessa said this when a Russian warship ordered them to surrender under threat of attack. Russian warship, go fuck yourself. They held their ground. All 13 were killed. Respect. Ukraine's defense ministry. Russia has sustained estimated 800 fatalities in combat. Good shit. I'm going to re-quote it. Good shit. Yeah, go follow me on Twitter, by the way. We get, no, don't expect a filter over there, though. I'm going to say whatever the hell I want. That's that. But yeah, definitely follow me over there. 800 fatalities compared to what? I seen... they said, what, 137 Ukraine casualties. I'm sure it's higher than that, though. I'm sure both numbers are way off because that's nothing compared to the amount of people that they have. But you better believe that's gonna piss off Putin, though, if they're losing substantially more soldiers than Ukraine. President Zelensky remains in Kyiv, has moved his family to an undisclosed location. President of the European Commission announced the sanctions banning the sale of aircraft and equipment to Russian airlines. FTX just gave $25 to each Ukrainian on FTX. Wow. Okay. I can respect that too. Yeah, according to U.S. officials to CNN, Ukraine has been putting up greater resistance than anticipated. I retweeted this about 2 hours ago too. But that's good. I mean, like I've said from the start, Ukraine, I mean, they're tough. You know, they're not going to back down. Even the damn mayor of Kyiv said he's going to stay and fight. What the fuck? Yeah, 800 deaths is, yeah. That's a whole, battalion? Almost. I believe Russia's are 1,000. I think our battalions are 800, I believe. Could be wrong there. That's what I remember hearing about. But, yeah, respect Ukraine. 100%. 100%. Man, I hope they win. If they had air support, they would stand a pretty good chance. Not because they have more power, but it's different when you're the attacker and you don't want to be there. Like this guy said that was captured by Ukraine, all their forces. This guy, he said, we didn't want to kill anyone. Russia don't want to be there. They don't have the same ambitions as Putin. They don't care. People just want to live in peace these days. Unless you're North Korea, or some other rogue country, you generally want peace, right? So, there's a difference when you're defending your families, your house, your livelihood, there's a difference there. And I think Ukraine could make it bloody enough. They definitely seem like they're going to make the Russians just say, hey, we don't really want to do this, And yeah, they learned from 2014 as well. They've been fighting for 8 years. They're battle tested for the most part. Even civilians, like they've been in war in their country for 8 years now. I'm sure they know how to do basic things. Yeah, Fox News is saying 137 Ukrainians and 800 Russians. Not a bad ratio. Yes, Ukraine's top general, Russia's blitzkrieg on day one has failed. But something I thought was very cool, and I gotta give respect where it's due. Let me find. Hold on. Damn it, I can't do that. Okay. Hold on, I might have to scope for it for a second. This one was good. Was really good. It says air raid ongoing in Odessa. Not good. Not good. People are donating a lot of money too. Macron stated he will offer Ukraine 300 million euros in aid and military equipment. That's a lot. That's like $450 million in dollars. But where is it? Where is it? Yeah, this right here. I'm going to retweet that one. Gotta give respect where it's due. Anonymous, a group of hackers, said they are officially in cyber war against the Russian government. What? Come on. Round of a fucking applause. Somebody's got to do it. Let's go. Yeah, Blitzkrieg is. Yeah, that's what they wanted to do, you know. Is kind of overwhelm them and kind of make them scramble like they did in Crimea, but much different people and much different scenario from then and now. The Vietnamese know how to defend a land. Yeah, there's something. Yeah, like even look at that. Like we would have won that war eventually. Like how many people would have had to die? It gets so bloody. You just, if you're the aggressor there or whatever the case is, trying to save the people, you know, you will only take so much of that before you're hated at home. Because you got to imagine those 800 Russians have 800 families. Well, I should say the 800 Russians estimated that were killed. They have 800 families as well. And each time somebody doesn't come home, you got one more pissed off. I mean, there's no worse thing that you could do. You know, if you're taking thousands of casualties for something that people don't, care about. Grant Gobble. Okay, can we talk about AMC, please? Sure thing. Sure thing. But this is where the money's made, ultimately. Like, I'm best with macro events like this. Like, I didn't think this was gonna happen. Russians are very unpredictable, but I was still prepared for it. So my portfolio was up like $4,500, and it's gotten beat down a lot, but had a lot of nice trades nonetheless set up for this. Pretty interesting. Oil did its thing. What did oil close at? Square just went crazy. That's gonna be a good one. Yeah, oil was up a lot. I had $74 calls. Those were up like 200% ish. But yeah, that's where the money's really made. Like we could talk about AMC, but it when you're thinking about the squeeze, it has very little to do with what's actually going on with AMC itself. Man, just carry on as you are. Yeah, this does affect AMC 100%. I mean, look what it did today. It was like a rubber band. You just got so compressed, hit that $15 level. You're like look, like this is what I like to do a lot of the times. Like when I'm watching a stock or like let me pull up Apple. I was watching Apple pretty closely today, studying how it moves and all that. But I like to set up these levels, right? I'll keep the Bollinger Band up most of the time, but these key levels, right, where you seen resistance right here, it broke out, it touched it right here, it touched it right here, and then it started to retrace back up. You get that clean breakout. It goes up, breaks out above this level, comes back down, touches that over and over again, never gets momentum to the downside, even over here touches it again, and then finally makes that break. And you can start to pick up on the key levels that you break out above, find support at, and that can also be really good. But I like to do that, and it looks like we're at a good spot for AMC. Like if you draw your line, right? You're pretty much at that level that we had hit all of these prior 4 days right here. And really these three too. and bounce right back up. I mean, AMC looks really good. I don't know about the squeeze tomorrow. I'm going to go with Evergreens. I mean, he might know something, you know. And maybe we get the squeeze tomorrow. No, if we get like another 10% day or something, that would be great. I won't get too greedy on you guys. Man, if we get 10%, happy. Saying how we ran 20% practically today from our bottom. Yeah, and AMC was doing its own thing too. That's what the almost the craziest part about it was when the SPY would go through these weird moments, like specifically when it would happen. Let's go ahead and take these off. It gets a little messy with the bands on, but yeah, especially during this period where we really started to gas, AMC wasn't as much affected for a lot of this when the markets would start to go down. I don't know how well it's going to reflect on the charts, but like you would notice, the SPY would take a big candle down, and the candles were huge today. Huge. That was a 0.33% candle right there. Absolutely wild candles. And you would see big candles down, and then AMC would do the opposite. It would go up. So when you see that divergence, definitely a good sign for sure. Which is very, very, very good. Russia's billionaires have lost $39 billion in the last 24 hours. That's a way to hurt them too. Get people real pissed at you. March 3rd. Is it Lou that is saying that? Can I ask you guys that? Is it Lou? I'm not sure who started to say that, but someone loves the Kool-Aid. Yeah. She is now in swing trade territory. That's true. That is true. What's up? I'm down 43%. 56 cost average. Don't look good at the moment, just sitting here waiting. Whew, you look better than me, man. I think my average is in between 35 and 37 on most portfolios. I don't think this is the bottom of the market, so I want to be very calculated when I start to really average down, because there's no sense in if we go lower, once a crash happens, we will go lower unless we squeeze from now until then, and then it doesn't matter because I have well enough exposure and we're going to go way higher than $37, right? So that's my thought process behind it. But yeah, my average is in between 35 and 37. I have some smaller positions in other portfolios too. I have like a brokerage account at pretty much every brokerage you can have, pretty much. Tasty, Thinkorswim, Webull, Public, Moo. Pretty much all of them. All the big ones. There are Russian content creators on TikTok making anti-war videos. There's protests on TikTok. Let me see if I can. Yeah, this is what I was watching earlier. Look at this shit. Oh, the live has ended. Fuckers. See if that comes up. Alright, stop. Roll a bowl and listen. Take. How you doing? Okay, bro. I didn't know. I've never done this on the computer, okay?
How you doing? You, man? I,
Did it at my Ukraine.
all right, stop.
But you do see yeah, look at these motherfuckers. They are not playing, bro. Like, that's what took down the Soviet Union back then. A lot of people just hated what they were doing. Obviously, that's already in the history books. You guys already know all that. You know, that's the last thing you want is losing 800 troops. Is that if that is a confirmed number and Ukraine only lost 137, I don't see how that is really possible. I think the numbers are probably much higher on both sides. But nevertheless, I mean, once word gets out of that, people are really questioning what they're doing. Yeah. They don't want that. You know? Now, if they got attacked, then they probably would. You know, different ballpark when you're the aggressor, when it's unjustified, and they know it's unjustified. They know it's probably not true. You know, the whole genocide stuff, all that. You know, so it's a little bit different when you're being the aggressor, but when you're getting attacked, yeah. Who's claiming the SEC confirmed the third is. Does he have any documents, like, to show for this? Like, if I can't find it in a simple Google search, it's not true, right? So, let's go ahead and what's it called? March 3rd. What is it? Like a margin call or liquidity something? Somebody had said something. Many who would like to hold over the weekend read today. Yeah, probably. I haven't looked at the futures in a minute, actually. Yeah, they've come down a lot, but Ukraine's foreign minister says Kyiv struck by horrific rocket strikes. Russia launched an invasion against neighboring Ukraine on Thursday. Okay, we know that. Summer capital experience anything like this was in 1941 when it was attacked by Nazi Germany. Ukraine defeated that evil and will defeat this one. Stop Putin, isolate Russia. Several tides kick Russia out of everywhere. Marco Rubio appears at least 3 dozen missiles have been fired at Kyiv area in the last 40 minutes. China won't be fully on board with all that Russia is doing, says strategist. Yeah, and that's the thing too with like World War III. I hope you are in here that we were talking about it. It's one of those things too where the key would be China to all of it. I'm jaded. The stats are there to support we would still win with the allies as well. Nobody wins there, right? Nobody wins nuclear or non-nuclear, but I think we would ultimately win. China, Russia, North Korea, Iran, and those 4 together. But China wants to top America, and they will in the next 5 or 10 years, roughly. They will be a bigger country than America. That's gonna happen. There's no other way around that, right? So, but they don't want to slow that down right now. So, I guess that's a sign of positivity because Russia would need Ukraine, but maybe that's where you could say he's just fucking batshit crazy and he's just gonna nuke people. It's fucking terminal or something. That's the shit that I just find unsettling, I guess. But time will tell. Anonymous. I think that is just great. Like, cyber attacks could actually help to level the playing field a little bit, which is cool to see Anonymous doing that. I just want anybody to fuck Russia up. That's it. That's it. You get no props for being a bully. But it's the FTD sediment, but I think it's on the 5th, maybe the 4th. See, that happens all the time. You know, we get those sediment dates happen like every single day. This is sad. See transparency, lose work for the headphones, fake mini squeeze at best. I'm looking to spend another 1K on Monday as well, aiming for 300 shares before third, just in case. Yeah, I mean, when you got a following of, what does Lou have, like 80,000 subscribers, you could say something and kind of cause a little rally, right? Just for hyping it up. No nukes, he said. No nukes. No nukes. China, Russia have a friendship pact. Yep, that is true. Don't forget the Taliban. They will. Yeah, they do. We just played with them, though. We were like a cat that plays with a mouse, like a dead mouse. Like they never like honestly stood a chance. We could have leveled them. I mean, we could have destroyed their world very fast, but war, it's a money machine. As long as you're not sanctioned like Putin, then it's the exact opposite. Then you're not gaining anything. Besides land, people can make that argument all the time, but, you know. Russia, they got plenty of land. They don't need any more land, okay? Well, Russia does have the Satan II missile now. Interesting. So Lou must just be talking about the new transparency is happening on the 3rd. Could be, but I need Ukraine land resources. Oh, as I'm only here for a short time. Here for a good time, not a long time. China and Russia also own the majority of the world's gold. Yeah, we have a lot of gold too. Well, I don't know in relation to those countries. I believe Africa has the most gold. Like big fat nuggets, but Nevada actually produces like 75% of the US gold. People think it's like Alaska or California or something like that. No, it's actually Nevada that has most of the gold in America. For a while there, I was actually really interested in like panning for gold or like sifting like a slough, get a slough. I don't know, I like precious metals like that, but they're terrible investments compared to other things. But like, man, I was seeing some people have found, like, if you found like a nugget like this big, I seen somebody did, and that thing went for so much. So it's pretty interesting. Yeah, but Russia and Ukraine and all them, they do have a lot of lithium, which is obviously key component for batteries, which is, I mean, a necessity in this day and age. They also do have a lot of nuclear materials. So that's also, I mean, shouldn't be a necessity, but it is. Massively red. We're like, please, just crash it. Just crash it now. Let's get it over with. That's funny. 800 fatalities. That's a lot on that's a lot on I mean the first day. If you think about it, throughout the whole Iraq-Afghanistan war, we only lost 6,600 people, soldiers. So to say 800 in the first day, if this drags out a while, geez. There have been anti-war protests happening in at least 54 Russian cities. See, I'm telling you guys, they don't want to be there. If fucking Ukraine can put up a bloody fight, which it's gonna be in Kyiv. That's gonna be the big test, where you really can't use a lot of that air support as much because you don't want to destroy the city. Takes a long time to rebuild them with money they don't have, with people that are not really going to be around, right? Who the fuck's going to stay in your destroyed city? Your house is destroyed. You ain't getting a new one. You already went to Poland. You're going to stay clear out of that. So it's going to be pretty interesting how that does unfold. But to see the people not on your side, 54 Russian cities, I feel like that's a lot for Russia. Russia's a fucking big country, but a very unimportant country. Like that guy said, they're basically a big, just a big gas station. That's all they are. Like significance of the world, they are the gas station. You go to the gas station for 10 minutes a day. The U.S. is like your Walmart or your grocery store. I'm just playing. Weird analogy. Okay. But yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting. Let's go ahead. Let's check out my guy over here. Let's see. Let's see if there's any missiles or something. Sun's coming out. You got Trump. Look at Trumpers. Oh, you guys probably can't see it like that. Trump. Nobody's sleeping over there. Crazy. Pumped $150 today to almost fill up my 2500 diesel GMC. That gets me 10 to 18 per gallon because I pull a trailer every day. Jesus. I just decided to pick up a gun and fight for Ukraine too. Yeah. Yep. Which just goes to show you. I mean, even look at this. Like, wait, hold on. Let's see. What are they saying? Quote, our capital was bombed at such a time in such a way twice in history, says Zelensky advisor. I'm not going to say that. in 1941 and now. Not good. TSM says they are fully committed to complying with export control sanctions against Russia. That's a big deal. Taiwan semiconductors, jeez, that's a problem. Taiwan semiconductor supplies like a lot of your regular semiconductors, and they are a big player. Like Taiwan semiconductors is the reason why we are so against China trying to take Taiwan. That's the simple reason why, because 50% of our semiconductors come from Taiwan. We can't afford to lose that. Ain't happening like they say over there, bro. Yeah, I've seen after you said that, I went and looked on the snap maps, and people were just walking around. I mean, but it looks like it's going on, but I don't know. But all right, guys, appreciate you guys for being here. Eric, Cuddle, Shane, all you guys showing up every day and making good conversation, showing love out there. But the last look at futures, and we'll get up out of here. NASDAQ down 0.56%, S&P down 0.39%, and the Dow down about 0.30%. Wah, 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 wah. It could go either way tomorrow, so just be careful. Thank you guys for tuning in.